everybody, and welcome to the show. This is Bugbear's Basement. Oh my goodness, we're coming into episode 2 of Elotera. It's going to be a lot of fun with our steampunk D&D run here. It's going to be interesting. I don't think I've ever run a steampunk within the D&D system anyway. So really looking forward to see how this fleshes out, everybody. But certainly happy to have you here. Please keep in mind that we have our links down below, and we'd love for you guys to go and check those out. We have, of course, to the fan speak over on Facebook, which is a really cool community with a lot of information. We'd love for you to be part of it. Also, keep in mind that we have links to me. You can contact me if you'd like to be on any of these shows that we have, particularly the Drone Recorded Fan Edition or Ultimate Edition. We'd love to have more and more artists come and get involved with what we're doing. But other than that, this show here today, and of course for the foreseeable future, has nothing to do with me. I'm just a player. And therefore, I'm going to be turning this over to the man himself, Bob, comic book Bob, to be more specific. So, Bob, you are the master and lord of our lives, sir. Go ahead.
A purple bolt of lightning comes from the sky and it kills you all.
Oh, okay, there you go. Done. Next.
Okay, so when last we met, you guys had just finished your little task for the magisterium. You had found the person responsible for the missing people in the lower town of Duenwold, and his preoccupation with jellies. After being almost digested a few times and basically just going in and laying waste to those things, because I thought that would be a much harder fight. You found a few interesting things about him. He apparently was completely mad, but thought that you were working for someone else. So there's a possibility of a mystery there. And then you managed to procure a few things. You got a whole bunch of magical components, and now covered in slime and crud and crap, you're on your way back to get your reward and see what your fate holds.
All right.
Okay.
I have forensically bagged the entire place, by the way.
Yeah. You I remember we did the rolls, and you know how much you got from that.
Mm-hmm.
I am sharing out my screen now just for the map, just for something for reference. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. You guys, all right, you emerge, you go back the way you came. You emerge out of the sewers, and it is actually night. Well, I should say it's dusk, and as you're walking through, even though this is Low Town, this is the peasant area of
ghetto.
Yeah, it's where the poor live, and it's where the common people live in Duenwold, in the ghetto.
And the baby Chicago mom.
But even here,
did we happen to catch the name of that guy who was running like the slimes down there?
You did not.
Does anybody know what that guy's name was at all?
I have all his notes, so if we have it, it's in there.
Schmitty Urban Jägerman Jensen.
No, actually, where is his name? I'll get you his name in a second. But as you guys emerge out, it is dusk, and even here in Lowtown, the streets are paved, and the wonder that is the capital city of Duenwold is some of it on display here, because as you were walking, you begin to see streetlights lighting up. There's actually there is power here, and some of you you've never been to the capital city, and this is actually interesting. This is the level of technology that Duenwold actually possesses. They have actual streetlights, and they're beginning to light up as you make your way. Where are you going to go? Are you going to go back to the academy, or?
I shall return to the academy and get this wretched stench off my body.
Yeah.
Probably acquire some new clothing.
Your
Walking
screen's
through
black, by the way, Bob.
shit-
What's that?
Walking through the shit in Myers, not.
Oh, the screen. Oh, it's I'm sorry. It's there. You go. That should be better.
Okay, so we go back to the academy.
I went ahead. I'm looking for food and large women.
Okay.
Okay.
You're looking
There
for
are
food and
still
large
there are
women.
still some street vendors.
Wait, are you looking for them as you smell horribly?
Whatever works.
Yeah.
Okay. So like you guys, you decide here. Are you going back to get your reward? Are you going to follow the Goliath to whatever brothel he can find?
Oh no,
Do they call to me? Do they see me? Do they call to me? Because they can draw me back, but you got to give me an incentive.
It's go
no,
for
you
it,
go
guys.
ahead, go find your big women, dude.
No, you guys are running the things here. So what are you gonna do?
Who's carrying Ninja's dwarf on the stretcher? Just curious.
Oh.
Hi.
I figure, by this point he's good again.
Yeah, I was just kidding. Hi, Ninja.
So how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. No, dude, Slick, you go find your big women, and I'm definitely heading back to the academy.
All right, then I'll go do my thing.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
You're going with Goliath to go get it on.
Yes, I don't know if anybody's coming with me. If they want to, they can.
Okay.
What?
All right. Hang on. All right.
No, after all of that, I'm going to go back to the academy.
Okay. All right. So the Goliath is going off on his own to go find food and women, and everybody else is going back to the Prosarian Academy.
Yes.
Correct?
You call it
Yep.
the
Okay.
Prosarian Academy? Oh yeah, I have the
The-
Prosarian
yeah.
Academy. I got that written down.
The Prosarian
Sweet.
Academy. Yeah, that's where you've lived for the last few years.
Yes, my entire existence that I know of. That's right.
Okay.
Cats again.
I'll come back. I'll come back to you in a minute, Slick. All right, you guys, you can begin to make your way back to the Prosarian Academy. Pretty much the way you came. What the hell?
That's the Goliath. The Goliath is
There are
prowling.
cats all over the streets.
There's cats everywhere.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's not a bad thing.
Oh,
Because,
man, come on,
Oh
man.
my God.
God.
Really?
Khajiit has wares.
Oh, Khajiit
All right,
has that way.
back on task. As you guys are walking the street, you still get the occasional weird look. There's not as many people now because most of the shops, most of the stalls are beginning to close up and head home for the night. You guys stink. You guys smell like you literally smell like crap.
Is there a fountain nearby? Is it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Well, there's a horse trough.
I
Well-
jump in it.
There
Oh,
you
there
go.
you go.
Oh,
Happy
no.
little gnome.
Bull goes.
You
running
do
over
realize
and
we
he
have
just
complete
literally-
facilities at the academy. You guys can come back and bathe
Yeah.
thoroughly.
Oh no, I know.
No,
But Bull does not.
Bull runs over. He sees water. He takes and dives in, and actually kind of splashes in there a little bit. Drinks a little bit as he's splashing around in it. Yeah, this stuff is
no.
disgusting now. So,
I'm surprised he even noticed the smell.
but
Sorry,
Yep.
guys. 1 second. I gotta run this thing real quick. I'll be right back.
okay. Eventually, you guys you make your way back to the Prosarian Academy. The guards kind of give you the strange little look, is like, "What the hell happened to you?" But they park to the side. They allow you in, and you make your way
Greet
back.
the victorious guards.
You make your way back to Arcanist Zadrus's office.
Yes, and I go
Oh,
to
I'm
him
surprised he let us
immediately.
in.
This is Arcanist Zetrus, right? This is Cyril Zetrus.
Yes, this is Cyril Zadrus. This is the Arcanist who has been in charge of you.
Yeah.
And he's been a fairly good benefactor. It's obvious that his interest in you is scientific.
Yeah.
You are a living artifact, and he is studying you, not only your physical form, but your behavior. He looks, and he kind of looks back up. He said, "Oh, you're back. You're back. Excellent, excellent. What do you have to report?" And he looks really excited.
Well,
Real quick,
during
did they pull me out of the trough?
maybe. I think I probably did. Yeah. My metronome has slung you over its shoulder. But during the ride back, of course, I ride on top of the metronome. On the ride back, I compile a quick video, and I project the video onto the wall to show him what, kind of a highlight reel of what happened.
He kind of sits and he's stroking his beard as he's watching. He's interesting. I'm surprised there was actually something there. I completely thought this would be was just people being paranoid. But excellent job, excellent. He kind of gives you almost like you would for a child.
Yeah.
Excellent job, excellent job. Give me a moment. And he kind of he rings a bell, and the same young student that you saw earlier before you guys left comes trotting back in. He immediately kind of rears back, and he sees you all. He's like, yes, sir. And he says, please fetch Arcanist Inatharia. She has some business with, and she kind of motions towards you, Bill. She has some business with this one. And, thank you all. You did an excellent job. And then he kind of rummages through his desk, and he pulls out a small chest, and he hands you 390 gold pieces.
Total?
Total.
Okay.
If you guys remember, the actual reward was slightly higher than that.
Yes, this seems to be a little light.
The academy and the magisterium obviously take their percentage off the top of it. It's just the way things work. But you did well. You did excellent job. I'm sure that the magisterium will be extremely happy with the job that you've done. And yes, well,
Yes.
and he kind of looks at you, Bill, and says, if you wish, you can wait outside for Arcanist Inatharia, and I'm sure whatever business she has with you will only take a moment. And then
Would it
he
be
kind of
possible to
Yes?
let the lady know that I must cleanse and clean? Can I get a new set of garments from you?
Well,
oh,
just to break in, when he does come back, the Goliath will want what he was told he would get, or there won't be trouble.
well, we'll have to role play through that when it gets there, man.
I have 78 gold for you, son. So.
Okay.
No, I'm not you. I'm talking about them.
I'm just telling you. I'm telling everyone.
Yeah, so.
78 gold.
All right.
Okay. And he says, I'm sure that will be fine. It'll be fine. And he kind of motions for another for one of the guards, and says, take them to the boss. Obviously, they need to clean themselves. And he kind of, this is the first time you notice he actually kind of like, oh God, yeah, you need to go wash. So,
Right.
and then he kind of pats you on the shoulder, Chester. He says, I'm very excited to talk to you. I have some ideas for you.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Doctor. Let me go and soak myself in oil to remove this refuse, and I shall return.
Excellent. And he kind of just totters back over to his desk, and he's sifting through papers. All right, so they take you guys to the baths, and you can do whatever you want from there.
I
Well,
already took my bath.
it's true. He did. And he did. Yeah. Well, I definitely soak in an oil bath and get all that off. I also organize I take a little, that initial sampling that I took myself that you gave me, I put on the side, and I take the rest of the fungi, and I put it into proper packaging, and then I go back over to the doctor.
Okay. Ninja, Bill, what are you guys doing?
I'm just gonna get washed up.
Okay. They take the bath is actually
disrobing now and getting washed.
Okay, the bath is actually pretty nice. It's actually.
Do I have bubbles available?
No, but it is heated, which is like, and it's heated like the water, like literally, it's almost like modern water. It comes out of a faucet and it is heated.
You heathens.
Which is very like even at the temple that where you've basically done your studying, you have to heat water over the fire and then pour it in to actually have hot water. So
right.
Bill?
Morden, this is a great thing that you've got here.
Okay, yeah. Once I'm clean, I'm ready to go. I'll go back and find out where. I'm sorry, let me write her name down if you don't mind.
Inatharia, her name is Arcanist Inatharia. Inatharaia.
Ooh, I spelled it right. Yeah.
Yep. And her
title is Arcanist.
She is an Arcanist as well. You don't know like what that means as far as rank is concerned, because Zadrus is an Arcanist and she is an Arcanist, and it seemed that she was subservient to him. So at least in the initial meeting that you guys had. But
would you just a little outside of the game? Can you remind me what my last exchange was like? It was a few weeks ago, so I'm a little. I think I ticked her off, right?
No, she loves me.
Yeah, she absolutely. Yeah, she despises. She despises Chester. She's the one who was basically giving you the information about the job that you took, and
right.
She's the one who expressed that she didn't think it mattered anything, and you kind of got a little, fresh with her.
Right. Okay.
And she wasn't happy, and then Dr. Zero basically you said, oh, well, she's just she absolutely hates you, and she, so she's not your guys' biggest fan, but
no, she's a snobbish elite who thinks she's something special. She's
right,
AOC.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering if is that where my money went for all their immigrants?
Probably.
But anyways, okay.
But anyway, you guys you take your bath, and they actually take your armor, and they you don't know how they do this. Probably magic. They bring it back just a few minutes later, and it is clean.
Excellent. Pressed stud leather, and put it on and check everything out, and then inspect all my little hidden pockets. Just make sure all my tools and gear is available.
Everything's there. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Doesn't look like they messed with anything.
Well, I'll don my
as you leave.
I'll don my new gear, my new cloak, and outer clothing, and go. I'm sorry, interrupt you. Go ahead.
You guys, you put your clothes on, you dress, you get ready to leave. As you're leaving, however, you see another is a young elf, probably it appears to be in her late teens, which means she's probably more like 40 or 50.
Okay.
Wearing the uniform of the academy. She, however, she has a very similar demeanor to an Itharia, and she is flanked by two magisterium guards. And as you guys leave, she holds her hand up and she stops you, Eldrin, and she says, "Lady Itharia will speak with you now. Please follow us."
I'll bow low and I say, "Greetings, fair one. Please lead the way." And who might you be?
No one of an import. And she turns and she immediately begins walking away. And the two guards flank you on either side, obviously making a show of strength here. Like they're basically telling you, "Don't give us any trouble."
Say, "Oh, please, young one. All of us of the fair fey blood are important. You are always one of consequence."
Damn criminal.
Slick tongue. She doesn't seem to even talk. And as a matter of fact, as she's walking, the way she's walking is it seems like it's practiced. Like she walks almost like she's gliding.
Okay. Okay. I will.
Okay.
I'll keep my mouth shut for right now. We'll just see how some things go.
Okay. Okay. So as you guys are all making way, Slick,
Yes.
you do what you do. You go trundling down the street.
I'll be
You
right
remember.
back.
You remember the direction that. Remember when you talked to the vendor and you asked her where the large women were, and she pointed at the lady and she says, "No, the good-looking ones." And then she pointed down the street. You head that direction and give me a perception check.
20?
20. Okay. You
No,
hear.
no, is 20 sided dice.
Inara's Bravo.
Yeah, 20-sided die,
The
yeah.
half ogre Wonderworld.
17.
17. Okay. As you're walking down the street, you hear. As it is beginning to become dusk, you begin to hear the sound of carousing happening. Like you see, there's a tavern on one side as you're passing. As you're watching it, however, you do see what looks to be a. It's actually not a. Considering this part of town that you're in, it's a fairly decent building. It's well lit. There's a lot of big windows, and you see standing kind of leaning against the railing at the front door. You do see what appears to be a courtesan.
All right.
Well, let me roll and see what kind
What does she look like, first of all?
She's actually a dwarf. Actually, and she's built a little stout, but she actually is not she's not unattractive.
Does she have a beard?
No, she does not.
Oh,
Okay.
I was hoping for an ogress.
But she does have some very huge tracts of land.
Okay, well, I'll go over to her and I will say, wench, compatriots that are bigger.
She goes from
He's
being
so
like
smooth.
this. She goes from being this kind of almost aloof to just completely like, oh shit. And she just kind of gives you the up and down, and she's like, hello, how can I help you?
Did I stutter?
I'm sorry, you have to repeat yourself. I was a bit shocked.
You are fine, whore, but I need someone bigger.
Oh yeah, Slick's gonna die. It's gonna be great.
She's equal parts insulted and terrified. She just kind of looks at you and goes, well, not to be indelicate. And when she says indelicate, she kind of looks at you like, yeah, don't call me a whore. She says, but I don't know if we have anybody that would fit you.
Point of fact. I know for a fact that whores do not take offense to the word whore.
Well,
They're whores.
I guess it depends on the woman.
he was a little blunt, and also he's a freaking monster.
I know. I just
So-
said it.
They could always take him down to the stable. And
Oh!
And yeah, she's like,
Why is there
no,
Centaur?
what's that?
I said, why is there Centaur?
Oh yeah, but she looks at you like she's genuinely afraid of you, but she's also like, yeah, there's nobody here that can handle you.
This is too bad.
I'm sorry, but it's not physically possible.
I can build an attachment for that.
I knew you were gonna say that, man.
That is too bad. I have coin to spend.
I would.
Can you direct me to an establishment that has large women, preferably with baths and sustenance and liquor?
Large enough. I can get all of those things, yes, except for the large women, because even our large women, I don't think are going to be able to survive you.
Well, I am a gentle lover.
Oh God! Why? What direction have we gone? Just curious.
Yeah, we're just.
We just need to get to the place, let him do his thing, and we don't have to go through that, and then I'll come back.
It's a legitimate thing, though, dude. Like, you're a freaking Goliath, man.
Maybe
she goes, okay, I'll tell you what. She goes, she
very, very annoyed.
She says, all right, I'll tell you what. I'll have an idea, if you're willing. And she says, follow me. And she leads you in. And basically, because there's no way any one of these women can handle you, she sits you down with 3 of them. And she says, do what you can.
Fine.
And you spend the next however long.
They need to wash me. That's part of the job, obviously. To bathe.
They're definitely
feed me, and give me a little booze, and then I will be done. I'll be back.
I have to change the music. I'm sorry. Hold on a second.
We can't hear
It's
the
gonna be
music.
bounce.
Yeah, right.
Bounce.
Pretty much. Okay.
It became the 1970s all of a sudden.
It did. Here we go. Let me see. I found something. It says bedroom mix. Let's see what that says.
Oh man.
Oh God.
And
Well,
very,
I think
This
Nick
show just became not safe for work.
Hey, you know
I
what?
think Nick hit the nail on the head when he said things are getting creepier than usual.
Yeah, that's
Well,
not.
I'm not. Look, he is what he is. It's,
I get you.
And he
I
has
found it.
primal urges.
Oh, shh.
We should
The
probably.
guitar,
I think we've
guitar's
got.
smoothing. Oh
I
yeah.
think
there it is.
we've gotten to the point where we all kind of know what's going to happen next. So let's
Oh.
leave that part to the imagination.
Yeah, that's fine. We can leave it.
I'm trying.
Okay. We can leave it to the imagination. He does.
Chess
need to
has
pay
got
the
you
fee,
handled
whatever
there.
that is.
In the night.
It's
All right.
10
Smooth
silver.
smoke coming off.
10 silver. I'll give
10
them
silver.
20. I'll give them 20 because I am a generous giant.
Okay. Mark off 20 silver on your sheet, and please God, let's move on from this.
I'm kind of digging the groove here.
And
I'll
we're
say.
off.
So yeah.
Okay.
He thanks the ladies.
All right. So yeah.
He thanks the ladies for their services and
you
their
leave.
companionship,
Yeah.
and for taking care of him. And he takes his leave and goes back to wherever it is. I don't know
He
how
dropped it
long-
on the beat even. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enough of that.
I don't know how long it was compared to how long they took, but he's gonna make his way back.
Yeah.
If you want to give him some more things to hassle him in the interim, that's up to you.
No, it's not a hassle, dude. It's roleplay, man. That's how it works. But okay, you leave. They are exhausted, and so you leave, and they're just thankful that they weren't killed and eaten. You do you get the usual weird looks because you're the only Goliath in this freaking city that you know of, and you make your way back eventually to everyone else. I don't know how long it took.
They polished my armor and weapons so nicely, as well as they polished.
They polished
everything.
something.
There's a lot of polishing happening.
Yeah, I assume that. And Sheldon Martin says his attachment he'll build is boom, dick in the water. Yeah, you're right.
It's a
I
dick in a
swear to
box.
God, I hate all of you. All right.
As you should.
Hey, you should have heard the
So-
sex music I had going on in the background. It was pretty cool, man.
When do I get
Alright.
back in relation to these fellas?
And I'll get to that in a second. Okay. While they're taking a bath,
You're about 5 minutes behind us.
yeah, Bill. They,
3.5.
Oh, yeah. You know, Slick, you could have played it different. You could have been a very minuscule or diminutive Goliath. You could have played that route.
Nothing about a Goliath is diminutive.
Oh, God. Oh, well.
That scene from Full Metal Jacket, I think it was. It was the
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
all right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Everything you
Alright.
want.
Yeah.
Me
Not
love
too-
you long time.
Not too buku. All right. Anyway. All right. So.
Well, I'm kind of. This is not the
Eldrin.
role play. This is not the role play I
Yep.
signed up for.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Move on.
Eldrin, you are escorted to another office. As you enter, you do see Arcanist Elotera is standing in front of what looks like almost like a crystal ball, and it's some kind of a arcane device that you can. That's what your initial reaction is, and She seems to be she has her hands on it, and she seems to be looking at it. And as you walk in, she actually reaches over, and there's a cover that she flips, and it covers over top of it. And she turns, and she clasps her hands in front of her, and then she says, "Thank you. You may go." And the young elf that escorts you there, she turns and walks out. The two guards, however, they flank either side of the door, and they take up a stance, and they wait. And she says, "I assume you completed your task because you are back."
And I'll bow low again. I'll say, "Milady Arcanus, you are, as usual, absolutely correct." And they have a perception roll to see if I can get a glimmer of what she was peering into.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you can go ahead and roll. It's going to be really high because this is a type of artifact.
Okay. Well, really high would be 16.
No. Okay. It's you
That's
kind of try to catch you catch a glimpse of what it looks like. You just have no idea what this thing is and how it works.
Not a problem. I'm just curious. So
nope, that's good. And she says, "I'm aware of your family heritage, and that's the reason why you're here. I'm also aware of the fact that you have, shall we say, been a bit of a problem child. I have a question for you. What is your impression of the Warforged?"
Under the bus. I'm going to get some coffee, by the way, so I won't hear this. Perfect.
Yep.
That is quite an impressive configuration. I've never seen anything like it in all my years. From whence did it come?
Nothing else like it exists. That is a story for another time.
But as far as his activities, I find him to be calculating, discerning.
Do you think he trusts you?
I'm a lady. I've only spent so much time with him. The adventure was quick, but he does find me reliable and competent, I'm sure.
And you survived.
For I am. And I am quite competent and capable as well.
And you survived. I have an offer for you. Something that may smooth some things over with your family and perhaps lend a little bit more credibility to your name going forward. I want you to accompany the Warforged and this ragamuffin group and act as my eyes and ears. Dr. Zero is, in my opinion, an artifact, not a person, not a being, but something that should be studied. However, my counterpart, Arcanist Zadrus, sees it as his personal pet project, and it is something of an issue with me. I believe this entity to be dangerous, and its best purpose would be for us to dismantle it completely and to study it. However, I have been overruled in this, and I would take steps to maintain awareness of this person as it leaves the grounds of the Presarian Academy. And I want you to be my eyes and ears.
I definitely got an attachment for that bitch.
Well, what you're asking is very dangerous for me. For this artifact seems to be able to do anything that its mind can create. I've seen it look through walls, create mirrors, distort reality. It is quite impressive. And to be quite honest with you, my family and I are estranged, and that is my intent. There's no reward for me to find any value or be held with them for my name. I do not wish that at all.
Well, then perhaps coin is the answer. And she motions with her hand.
Well, coin.
And you see a small bag of something on the desk. You see a small bag of something on her desk.
What I wish to acquire is to know more of the arcane arts. Coins come and coins go, but knowledge is where power lies.
She actually kind of perks up at this a little bit. She says, interesting. I will make a deal with you. I will make a pact with you. Act as my eyes and ears. Keep tabs on this Dr. Zero. I will give you the means to report back to me. And at any time that I choose, use your influence with him to direct him where I wish. And in exchange, I will make available to you, within reason, access to the arcane knowledge of this establishment. And she kind of motions to basically the entire academy. What say you?
Now, can someone with deception perceive other people deceive him, or is that insight?
You can roll insight to see if she's trying to deceive you.
Okay. Yeah.
It'll be a contested roll. And she rolled a natural 1. So yeah, she's not lying.
Okay.
She's obviously, you get the sense that she's trying to finagle this to her best interest, but she's not lying. She's willing to make a deal with you.
Let's start this relationship on a good foot and show me that you are, well, let me put it this way. The last agreement I made with the Magistrum had a price tag that I was not aware of. So in good faith, would you provide me something that I'm asking of?
Such as?
A trinket, a scroll, something of that nature that I can learn so I can gain more knowledge.
Talisman.
A puppy.
She looks at you and says,
a junior woodchuck badge. No.
I will do this. You can leave with me a request for something, for a particular spell or scroll that we may possess. I will look into it, and in exchange, I will not send you back to the stockades where we found you.
So you are so generous indeed. Your generosity is only outdone by your beauty.
She does not move a muscle. This is beneficial for you in ways that I think we both are aware of.
Well, and I may have some more information.
Collateral
as well.
Collateral is built. I'm listening.
Just to show my honesty in our dealings, I confronted a very strange creature in the sewers. A man who was very corrupt and foul. And he was an alchemist. And his lab was covered in slime, in ooze and jellies. Does that sound like something that'd be interesting to know more of?
I take it this was the source of the disappearances?
Yes, my lady.
Interesting.
He was muttering strange things to himself while he was working on vats of oozes and jellies, and each had a certain elemental property.
That's interesting. That's very interesting, actually. But then again, mutterings are the ravings of the mad. So
he seemed to be quite agitated about a woman being involved in his work. and how she could not steal what he had created.
Well, what man doesn't lose himself over a woman at some point? And she kind of gets like a wry smile on her face when she says this. You yourself seem to be well versed in the pitfalls of relationships with others.
Peaks and valleys, my dear. My lady, I mean.
So do we have a deal?
Agreed.
Excellent. And then what spells do you actually have right now, Bill?
Magic Missile, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, Sleep, and Disguise Self.
Okay, and you're 5th level?
Fourth
level. You're 4th level. Okay, so I'm trying to see. And see. Arcane Trickster. Trying to see if she needs to give you something or if she can just teach you this.
Oh, by the way,
No.
Bob, I started a new project. It's called the Shuriken of Far Realm Porting.
Is it shaped like a snowflake?
It will be. It will be.
Okay.
Now I'm supposed to be limited to schools of enchantment and illusion as far as what I can learn as a class, but I'm able to pick up other areas. That would be really cool. So instead of tying up, stream time, I could look at something and send you a message in the chat and see if you're cool.
She's actually going to give you she's gonna have to give you something because it's something that you can contact her with is what she's gonna do.
Right.
So she's actually going to she walks over to her desk again and she reaches she opens a drawer and she pulls out a ring and she hands you the ring. This will allow you to contact me 3 times a day.
Okay, and I shall contact you when I have news that is pertinent to what you require.
You will contact me every day, at least once, to give me an update, even if the update is that nothing has changed.
Excellent. I'll hold out a pouch and say, "For the ring, please."
She drops it in.
Okay, let's tie it up and stow it away.
Excellent. And she just kind of stands there and says, "You may go."
By your leave, and I'll bow and walk out.
Okay. The ring is a ring of messaging.
Okay.
You can cast a message 3 times a day.
Gotcha.
Okay. You know how messaging works, right?
I'll be good. Yeah.
Okay.
Just send a text. Come on.
Yeah.
As you're leaving, she actually goes, "Oh, and by the way," she reaches and she picks up an envelope off of her desk and she hands it to you. And she says, "As you leave, it's obvious that you're going to need employment to continue and to give you and the Warforged something to do for you to actually observe this creature." She says, "This envelope should have everything you need to help you make acquaintance with an agent of mine. They can put you to work."
I see.
And then she just kind of turns and she walks back over to the artifact that she was looking at.
Okay.
Bill, that's your handler. Just to let you know, that's your handler.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
By the way, if you guys give me artistic impressions of your character, I can put it in the screen file and I can share them as you guys come up.
So nice. You're so nice.
I know.
All right. Well, I've been dismissed. So.
It's convenient that you say that because I might be working on something.
Oh, awesome.
Cool.
That is cool. But it would be nice to have everybody so I can just switch between you.
Am I being escorted again?
They stand by the door, and as soon as you leave, they walk out with you, and then they stand on either side of the door.
And they stay there?
They just let you walk away.
Okay, well, I need to double around and spy on this biatch.
No.
You can try. All right, what are you doing, man?
Well, Al, let's get back to me. I don't want to take the whole show here, so
Okay.
I'll think
All right. So you make your way back. You actually get back to the office right about the same time as the you see the Goliath walks trundling up. He's actually glowing a little bit. But right before you guys get in there, Dr. Zero and Bull and Ruskar, you make your way back to Zadrus's office, and he says, "Oh, excellent! Come in. So, Dr. Zero."
Yes.
I believe I have been given permission to extend our experimentation.
Ooh, that
And
sounds
I believe
wonderful, Doctor.
I believe that that you are ready to explore beyond the walls of the Procyon Academy.
Just a sec, Bill. Is there not Bill, Bob? Is there a couch or a large seat in this room?
In the office, no. This is actually just his like a small office. Matter of fact, you barely fit in here, man.
Well, I'm really not interested in anything he's saying. I'd rather go find some place to sleep.
Okay, well, you can actually walk out, and there's a bench outside of his office, so you can go there, or you can go back to where because you actually live like right across the promenade here at the magisterium.
Yeah, that's where he's gonna go. He doesn't care
Okay.
about any of this. They'll come fetch him if they need him.
Okay.
But-
Okay. So, but I've been given permission to allow you autonomy,
Ooh.
and I'm very interested to see how you deal with the outside world.
I found that biology is very fragile.
Well, we are creatures of flesh and bone, unlike yourself. Were that we all as sturdy as you are. But what say you?
I say it sounds interesting.
I'm excited.
As am I.
think
I
it's
will
excellent.
keep copious notes on the endeavor, sir.
Oh, of course, and I fully expect you to make continuous reports.
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to hearing about your adventures and what you've learned and how you grow and change.
And on a side note of the beginning of my adventures in the outside world, I do believe monetary gain is part of that endeavor, is it not?
Absolutely.
I kind of knock on the back of the gnome. The door, the little drawer opens, and I pull out perfectly wrapped and prepared bags of fungi.
Oh, he picks up and looks at it, and then he begins to realize what it is. Oh, it's fascinating. Oh, that's right. And he says, I remember you mentioned this in your report. Excellent report, by the way. Perfectly prepared.
Well, thank you.
Well, yes, we'd be more than happy to procure this. Remind me, Chester, how much did I say was there?
After it was all said and done, it came out to be 1,720 each.
I think it was 1,720 total.
Maybe.
Yeah. So he gives
Let me check.
Go ahead.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because I wasn't going to give you guys that much money to start with.
All right, well that's fine. Go with that. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So it's 1,720 total, which is, I mean, these are components, man. That's actually for fairly not rare but unusual components. That's actually pretty good price. And he says, "Oh, absolutely," and then he reaches in. He goes to reach for the box, and he just realizes there's not enough in there. So he walks around to. He opens opens the door, goes into a storage closet, and he comes out with a larger chest and sets it down, and then begins to pull out bags and sets them out in front of you. So he gives you 170 platinum pieces.
Okay.
And then the rest in gold and silver and whatnot.
Okay, so he does break that down. All right.
That's not a bad way to start your journey into freedom. You've got quite a bit of gold to see you on your way.
Yes, that's 308 each, by the way.
Okay, and that's what everybody gets. So go ahead and write that down, guys.
In addition to what he paid us for completing
Yep.
the mission.
Yep.
Now, do you want me to hold on to the gnomes?
Well, the gnome is going to look at you and go shiny and hold out his hand.
Okay, I give you 1 platinum piece.
You give me a platinum piece. I look at it, I sniff it, and then I eat it.
Okay.
I knew he was going to do that.
All right. Now, what I
Okay,
do, just so you know, GOP, I will just keep a running total of your gold
Okay, that's fine.
as an
Okay.
aside. So,
You guys watch as the Warforged leans down and he drops a platinum piece into the gnome's hand, and the gnome literally just looks at it, sniffs it, and then just swallows it.
And then I walk away like nothing happened.
So you know that he's worth at least 10 gold.
Mhm.
yes, at least.
At least.
At least.
Okay.
Pearls for
You
swine.
don't know what else I've eaten.
That's true. It is
Yeah.
true. It is true.
Okay, and he says, "Well, I'm assuming that you want at least a bit of time before you depart, so you can."
You do that too much, there, Bull. You're gonna be dragging ass, and your dexterity will go down.
Dude, I
I'm
already
sure.
said I'm waiting for the time when he's walking and he's just jiggling.
All
Just
right.
ching, ching, ching.
Next
Well,
time
what goes
that I
in
do
must
next time I do an update on his arm, I'm going to attach a coin purse into his stomach, just so you know.
A little pocket dimension.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
Would you shave my coin purse?
Well, you guys know I can create bags of holding almost at will, just so you know that.
Okay.
It's
as long
pretty
as you have
disgusting,
components.
actually. I mean,
Put a little.
if I wanted to spend like a couple of years off with this character, we would own this damn city. Just so you know.
Yeah. Okay. So he dismisses you. You guys can stay at your respective places for the night. Zero, they're not kicking you out. They're basically just like, hey, it's time for you to go.
So I no longer have my laboratory.
Well, you don't have the laboratory, but he does tell you that if the situation arises and it's absolutely necessary, he'll do what he can to see if you can give you access to the facilities. But he said part of it is he wants you to learn how to do everything on your own.
I see. So then I should go procure myself another laboratory outside and rent or purchase the property. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then while they're sleeping, my entire endeavor is to find another laboratory because I'm
Okay.
kind of lost without one. So
All right. We'll go ahead and we'll do some rolls for that here in a minute. But Rav, as you go back to your the barracks where you've lived forever, Willow Wolf actually meets you as you're walking across. He says, "How did it go?"
Well, we found the problem, and we eliminated it. It was easy.
So there was an actual entity down there then.
No. There was a lunatic doing crazy things with
I'll be back in a second.
jellies and
Yep.
oozes. It
Oozes.
was a little rather odious, but we cleaned it up.
Well, excellent. There were no survivors, I take it then.
No. Why would we do that?
But I meant his victims.
No.
That's unfortunate. Unfortunate.
We found a hole full of bones.
Ah, I see. Well, you can give me the details later, and
I believe there
we'll
was a
send.
report given. If you want to
well
seek
then.
it out.
Well, we want to find if there's any remains that could be returned to the people that lost loved ones. But you did well then.
Of course.
No issues.
I have been fed. I have been bedded. I have been liquored. I need my rest.
Well, that's not exactly what I was talking about, but all right. So
Back.
walk with me, and as he starts walking with you too, as you walk back to your barracks. You know why I brought you here.
I can surmise.
When I found you with the gladiators, I didn't free you just to free you. I freed you because I saw something in you. I believe you have potential to be more. Now, obviously, and you are aware of this, that there are many people within the Magisterium who do not share my belief in you, Rav.
Well, they can believe as they will. I make my way in this world, and I will do as I wilt. I am still a free man, whether others think I am not.
That is not the point. The point is, I think you could be more than you believe you can. But I believe you need to change your perspective on the world. And
I am willing to listen, but I will do as I wilt.
I understand that. But he kind of like he's actually a pretty good sized guy himself, but he's nowhere near as big as you are. He just kind of like gives you like a chuck on the shoulder. He says, "Try not to be so severe. Not everybody sees the world in black and white the way that you do, and it doesn't make them wrong."
I like you. You've been good to me, but you do not know where I come from, nor where my people have been, and now are not.
And I can say the same for you. There's a great big world out there, Rav, and many different people and many different perspectives. And as I said, just because it does not share yours, it does not mean they are wrong. And as you go out into this world, I want you to think about that and remember that. And I want you to grow as not just a Goliath, but as an Eldritch Knight. I trained you in this for a reason, because I believe that you have great potential and that you can bring great good to this world. But you need to grow. And I hope that you will do this. I've used what influence I have.
In Russia, we give wisdom.
To convince
with our borscht.
To convince the Magisterium to allow you to leave, to be on your own. And I hope that you will take what you have learned here, not just no chains. You are a free man to choose your destiny as you see fit.
But there are strings, no.
There are no strings. It's just you are a stranger in a strange land, and you need to learn what that means.
Okay.
So, I would.
Okay. Well, so let's cut to the preamble. Cut the preamble and get to the point. What is my latitude, and what are my responsibilities? And that's what I ask.
They're letting you go. They're basically he's basically like, you are free to go.
By myself, without anybody else.
Women of the world, at will.
By yourself.
Here's the thing, though. If they're letting him go, he's likely to go unless somebody gives him a reason to stay.
That's up to the other characters.
Okay.
Sure.
Well then, I'm gonna end this up. So I'm basically. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your generosity, even though I do not believe it was needed. But you have been good to me, and I will do as you ask to the best of my ability.
Yeah. Travel the world, Rev. There's more than just the small place where you came from. And I believe that fate brought you here for a reason. Explore that. I encourage you to do this.
The gods are often mysterious as to what they want of us. I
They
will
are.
try to find out what they want for me, and I wish you the best in your life, that
And
you will serve well to your people.
good luck, Rev. And he just kind of he just kind of like gives you like a friendly chuck on the shoulder, and he walks away.
All right. Well,
All right.
yeah, I have nothing
So-
against this man. I probably have a bit of
Yeah.
I earning my trust is pretty tough, but
Mhm.
that guy probably I'll trust until he.
Yeah, Willow Wolf is the guy who basically kind of had your back the whole time. Most of the other magisterium, especially the Eldritch Knights, who are kind of like the elite.
Yeah.
All of the Justicars are actually either Eldritch Knights or clerics or like something along that line.
Well, what I'm saying is this guy, like, he doesn't right now, I'm going to be honest, and he'll probably say it at some point, but he doesn't trust anybody but probably Bull, because Bull has no guile.
Mhm.
And this man right here, everybody else,
Yeah,
he views with suspicion to some extent. But if anybody breaks his trust once he has trust, well, that will never be again.
I
Well,
know
he,
the definition of the word guile.
but yeah, Willow Wolf is actually he's you actually didn't he oversaw your training, but you only fought him once, and he kicked the shit out of you.
Well,
yeah, no, Willow Wolf is he's a Justicar. There's only a handful of Justicars in the Magisterium. They are like literally the most powerful warriors in the in all of the Empire.
Well, I do love the voice play of the Goliath though, Slick. It's perfect, dude.
Yeah. But and he has always shown you like you've always got the sense when he sees something in you, and he wants you to do great things.
I'm a stubborn guy, but I obviously I will have respect for somebody who's treated me fairly.
Yeah. But and also you respect him, like I said, as a warrior, because like I said, he is a legit badass.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Okay. And
then
all right,
I guess I'm have I gone back to the barracks yet, or was that in between?
He was walking you there.
Okay, so I'm gonna go rest. You guys can come collect me when you're done. I will tell them what, and well, we'll get to it.
Okay. You guys finish up. The next day comes, and you are free to go into the world. So, what are you gonna do?
I'm looking for a
Well,
new
are we gonna
laboratory.
come together one more time? Are we gonna come together again as the characters?
I would assume.
Well, yeah, I think there should be kind of a coming together. We talk, and I tell them I'm free to go wherever I want. You guys are gonna have to. I'm serious. You're gonna have to convince me if you want me to stay.
So are we like meeting at like a breakfast table or something?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that.
All right. So we're all in the morning.
Yeah, meet in my laboratory, which you see is because you guys slept. My laboratory is mainly boxed up now, but I did leave the center table, and I put chairs around because I know you guys need consumption, and therefore I have prepared a breakfast for you, or at least I've had one prepared. Do you want that to be my last use of resources, or you want to charge me for that, Bob?
Nope, you're good.
Okay. So you all come around back into the laboratory. I have a very nice breakfast type of spread set out on the table, and I'm sitting at the head of the table waiting for you. Or not the head of the table, actually. It's a round table. So I even have a chair big enough for you. I built it last night.
One thing I must say to you, Metal Man, you may be a chatterbox, but you are a good host.
He nods his head to you. He says, "Please sit, imbibe, eat, enjoy." I have to say, as you guys I'm assuming you sit down and start eating. I thoroughly enjoyed my first time out of the laboratory. I have not left the I guess this is the
Professor Ryan
Seraphian,
Academy.
Seraphinian, or this is the academy. Yeah, I haven't left the
Yeah.
academy since I was reawakened, and it was quite exhilarating to get out. I had so much information to gather. I had so many things to see. It was very exciting, and I have very good news. They have given me my freedom. I can walk freely into the world as I like, and I really would like to do more of it. It was quite exciting being with you and going to all these places. I want to do more, don't you? There's money to be made. We made money, from what I understand from my calculations. It was quite lucrative. Shouldn't we do more?
You never cease to amaze me, Dr.
Indeed.
Zero. That you believe that you find excitement is very interesting. Do you feel emotions? How do you define that? Being a creation as you are.
Well, from what I basically understand between the studies that I and Dr. Zadrus have had, that although I am mechanical in full function and I am capable of many things, I seem to possess a soul, oddly enough.
Astonishing.
So, you do make good victuals, though. These are excellent. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. My gnome is
I'm
running around
engorging
being
on-
a maid.
I'm engorging myself like a crazy person right now.
You
No,
always
As I
I'm
do
basically
most-
stuffing my face because that's
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well, good doctor and all here. We worked well together. We did make quick work of that monster in the sewers. And I too require coin and adventure. If I suggest that we continue on as a group and see how best we can live our lives as adventurers in this fair kingdom.
Indeed.
I do not find this kingdom very fair, but
That
Well,
could
to
be
be honest
something.
with you,
if
to be
you
honest
provide
with you,
me with coin enough to have women, food, and all that I desire in the moment that is how I live my life, then I am free now. But I desire for my homeland, but it is far away across the sea.
Oh, how far?
I do not know.
That could be expensive.
This is true.
You know, I just had an idea. I need to find a new laboratory because this one here is, of course, being dismantled with my freedom. I'm no longer have to be stuck here, so I have to go get my own. Maybe we should create our own agency, create a headquarters, a layer, as it were, that we could all gather and have places that are each our own, and then go into the world, into adventure, and gain money. We could do that together.
Zero, metal man. You think I care for such an enterprise? But maybe.
It could be fun.
What do you wish for, Raz?
Tell us your dreams.
I wish for a soft woman of my own kind.
Oh,
sure. Are you not a champion?
I wish that my tribe would again walk the earth, except for this soul one. I wish for many things that cannot be. And here comes a train.
I hear the train.
It's an airship. An airship.
No, it's a train. Why can't it be a train? We're in a steampunk world. I have a question for you, Bob. In my database that I have access to, which you can have me make a roll if you want. Do I know of his species?
Yeah, you know about Goliaths. They're not an uncommonly known race. It's just that here in the Otristan Empire, they're not really all that looked well upon. Anything outside of the norm is like it wouldn't surprise you to see another Goliath in the Empire, but they're not going to be in any kind of a position of power.
Do I know where they generally congregate?
They're in mountains. They congregate in mountains.
Yeah, no, I know. I meant specific.
You know that if you look on the map here, you do know that there are some tribes up around the this area right in front of the frozen peaks.
Oh, okay.
There are some that congregate there. You do know that down in the Margosmos Concordian, there's actually, as far as you know, there's quite a few Goliaths down there. Most of the what the Ultras Empire considers the lesser races, a lot of them kind of congregate there.
So I ask Rav, do you know to which direction you were captured?
My people once lived far to the north in the
Oh,
Dark Fang Mountains.
oh, I see. Interesting. You said
Or
once.
the Blood Fang Mountains. That said right.
Yeah,
The Blood Fang.
the Bloodfang Forest.
Yeah,
You said
no,
once. Are they no more?
they are indeed no more.
Oh,
I am the last of my tribe.
That is awful. Huh. Well, I would certainly would be happy to help you try to get to your home.
There's no one there to greet me.
Well, maybe maybe it's
the
time you
dwarf
made a new
pipes up
family.
and says, "Yeah, darn it, you beat me to the punch."
I'm sorry, I didn't say anything. I shut up.
I did have a family though. After the demise of my tribe, they were the tigers of the great red forest. But I do not know if they exist anymore either.
Go ahead, dwarf.
Well, by Moradin's great axe, at least we have each other now. I have to say, we should offer up a prayer of thanks to the great god Moradin. All of you, I'm sure, are aware of Moradin and his wonderful, most great axe in the land.
You may pray to Moradin, but he's not my god.
I stare. I stop eating for a moment. I look at you as I just stare blankly, like I have no idea what you are talking about.
I must say to my compatriots on this last adventure, I did enjoy. However, I do not know any of you, and I do not trust any of you as of yet. I tell you blankly this, and frankly, that you might know where I stand. However, I do trust the bull. There is little in him to not trust.
There's a platinum piece. But I said,
I need his platinum piece.
Yeah, hit his platinum piece. Maybe with that, we should get to know each other better. So I kind of speak to the dwarf and I say, well, it's a good point. I look over at my mechanome, who's being the maid right now. The mechanome raises its right arm and it transforms into a big hammer. And I say, did you know that Moradin is one of the few gods that is within the shield?
I did, and it's a great thing that he is. For this way, we can have his blessings just that much more.
And I go over to you and I say, since we're trying to become family and become a unit to work together, I will show you a secret that I have. So I walk over, I stand up, I walk over to where the dwarf is, and the armored plate chest that I have on, I remove it. And I turn it around and I show it to you. You guys see the inner working of my gears and such. And on the back of my armor plating is the symbol of Moradin.
Oh, the dwarf's eyes light up, and like he's beaming. He's like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you, lad. What a wonderful thing. I knew there had to be something special about you."
Do you think the god might have had something to do with my creation?
You know, he is quite the craftsman. So, it is very possible that you are one of Moradin's fantastic creations. You said yourself you have a soul. Moradin is one of the soul creators.
Indeed
So
he
it's
is.
very possible.
Your
I
screen
think
went
you and
black
I will
again.
become great friends.
Oh, he
Oh, I'm
bows to the
sorry.
dwarf.
The dwarf genuflects back to Dr. Zero.
I put my plate back on and go back to my seat.
Moradin of the Soul Forge. And the War Forge is of Moradin.
Well, I mean, out of character, I just kind of thought that would be a nice touch, Bob. But in
Go
this
for it, man.
in this world, we don't really know who created the Warforged, right?
Right.
Nope.
Well, I'm just raising the question at the table.
Yeah.
So, it's very interesting. So, where do we go from here then?
Well, like I said, I need to get a new laboratory. Why don't we go in together and get something bigger, a place where we can all at least gather our thoughts. At least it's going to take some time, no matter what decisions we make. It might be prudent.
One of you has an envelope.
I know. Yeah, I was going to do that. Well, I understand the need for your base of operations, and I agree with you. So why don't we start there? And while we do that, I have something to discuss too. But I'd like to get moving. The sun is setting. The day is moving. We need to get going. It would take us time to find something that can satisfy your needs and creativity, Dr. Zero.
Indeed. So your letter?
Well, I would assume I would have opened and read it.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't think it was something I was going to present to the group. So
No. You don't. No, you wouldn't present it to the group, but you would have opened it and read it at some point.
Okay.
Basically, in it says a name. It says Lady Zilthera, and then underneath it says the Tawdry Orc Inn. Present my name.
So Lady
Zilthera, Zilthyyra.
And the Tawdry what?
The Tawdry Orc Inn.
Okay. Got the flow chart going. All right.
Okay.
And off we go.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what if you guys are going to tag along with him to go to the Orc Inn. I personally need to go find a place because I gotta find new residents. So I'm going to be spending time. But I guess in my mind, Bob, I'm looking for something that's maybe a little bit on the outskirts, so it's a little cheaper and also a little more private. And I'm looking for something big enough for not just me, but for everybody.
Okay. You can look around.
Be having some high ceilings.
Yeah, right. That's another. I'll take all those factors into account. Yeah.
The first thing that comes to mind actually is back down on the back down in the warehousing area where you guys came from. Where when you think about Lowtown, it's like it's basically where all the workers and everybody live. It's not completely destitute, although all the poor do live there. But it's also the place where most of the common folk live.
Oh no! Hold on a second.
It's the blue collar part of town. Right?
Yeah, it's the blue collar part of town.
That that layer that we cleaned out. What building is sitting on top of that?
That was actually that was part of the sewage works.
Yeah, but there must be a building sitting on top of it.
That's if you go back to where the opening
it's
where you
actually
guys found
in the sewer works. Oh, I see.
Yeah, it was actually on top of the sewer works. Yeah,
I see. And I can't.
That would have been cool.
That's what I was thinking.
You also
I can't
know
rent that.
Yeah, you also know that when you gave them your report, they immediately were going to send people down there to completely clean that place out and basically wreck it.
So if it's so we can't go back down there and just use that.
No, because given the situation, they're not going to want people going down there. They're also not going to want people snooping around down there either, because maybe something they don't want them to see.
That's fine. All right, continue what you're saying.
It's not going to be a bat cave.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Okay. What were you saying, Bill?
I don't think he was saying anything. You were telling us about in the low town where we could rent space. Bob, did everything just freeze on me or something?
Go ahead.
Owl dude, I was like, so since we're going to band together as adventurers, I think maybe we should try and find some adventure. And we don't necessarily need to have the Magisterium provide us coinage. I would prefer, I'm sure you all would, to be independent of their influence, since they do charge an exorbitant fee to champion for them. So I'll use my skills to see what I can drum up in some of the inns around town.
Oh, that is wonderful. You do that while I procure us a location to make as our domicile.
So, as since I'm obviously going to go with Dr. Zero, and he mentioned that he was looking for a laboratory, I'm going to run around to all the peasants and just everyone I see, just yelling, laboratory, 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 and just
Okay, pretty
Just
much the same thing that
my-
happened the last time happened.
Yeah,
Everyone's
exactly.
they're looking at you like you're weird.
Mhm.
They're like, oh God. Ugh.
That is how I ask around for things. That's how I search.
Yes,
I got you.
very efficient.
Maybe I should go with the Warforged just to, be a face that people can talk to that aren't going to scream in terror.
True. That's fair point. Fair point.
I wander around. I don't go with them. I assume they'll come find me if they want me to. If they want to. What's the name of this place we're at? The
Low town?
the university. The university we were at.
Oh, the Praesarian Academy.
Are we still there? Or have we all left?
You were actually meeting in the grounds in the middle between kind of where like the students go when they sit and everything. And but the actual academy itself is it's the campus is on one side of this giant area, and then on the other side is where the magisterium, their main headquarters and their main barracks are, and that's where you've been.
Okay. Are you guys wanting me to come? Do you have any argument for me to go?
Yes, we need to measure the ceiling.
Well, you might want to go. I mean, if it's an inn, there's probably ale.
Do you not know my height already, Tin Man?
I do.
Come
That
along.
was my
Come along,
attempt at humor.
Goliath. We'll go get some lunch.
I have many things weighing upon my mind. But fine.
But what about your stomach?
Ooh.
Ah,
Fine.
I'll bring back food. Well, if I can find you. No, never mind. I didn't say that.
All right, Bob. So you got two groups moving in two directions. One's looking for adventure, going to a secret meeting, I would assume, and the others are looking for a new
Why would you
layer.
assume such a thing?
Okay.
Am I not honorable?
I'm gonna deal with I'm gonna go ahead and deal with Bill first.
Hey, go ahead.
Okay, and who's going with you, Bill?
Nobody.
Nobody. Okay.
Oh, now I feel bad.
You take you
Oh,
basically
don't. He's a
leave.
traitor.
You take the information that you take the information that you have,
I wasn't an hour ago. Come on.
and you follow the information like you've been given.
Okay.
And you do eventually find your the Tawdry Orc Inn. It is actually in Lowtown, and when you first enter, you walk in, and it's not that big, but it's very clean and it's kind of empty. It's a fairly small tavern, it seems, but there's a few people in there, a few people drinking. There's a pretty stout dwarven woman behind the bar. She looks at you and says, "Oh, what can I do for you?"
Hello, beautiful. I'll have a glass of wine and a crust of bread.
All right, and she reaches back, she pulls out a bottle. You didn't specify, so she kind of gives you the cheap stuff. And then she walks back into the kitchen area. She walks out with a loaf of bread with a knife and some butter on it, and she sits it down in front of you.
What do I owe you?
Let's see. That'll be 10 copper.
Excellent. I'll give her a silver piece and say, I'm looking for someone. And I'll say,
We're all looking for someone, love.
is that not true? I'm here to find Lady Elotera. You direct me to her.
I've no idea. There's nobody by that name.
Don't make it easy on me. No problem. Okay. Am I forgetting something here?
Yes, you are. And just so you know, 10 copper is 1 silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
That's
I knew that.
Well, I thought you were
I
paying
know
extra.
that, Chester. Okay. All right. So go ahead.
Yeah. No. I'm. What am I pulling? I'm pulling a blank on something. So I apologize.
You're supposed to say that so and so sent you.
Okay. All right. Then I'll say that. I'll say. Sorry, I got.
Okay,
she trusted
so
her directions to the best person possible.
Yeah, right.
So you
No. I'll look. Is she? Are you the proprietor of this lovely establishment?
I am the owner of this establishment. Yes.
It's called Lady Zilthra's the Tardy Orc Inn. There's a hint there.
Yeah, you were supposed to give her someone's name.
I thought I did.
You didn't.
No.
No.
You were supposed to give her Arcanist Intharia's name.
Oh, sorry. Dang it.
And it was over before we get back.
I'm not even drinking tonight. I was sent here by the Arcanist Intharia.
Okay. She kind of looks at you for a second. She kind of nods a little bit. And she goes, "Why does she always send the freaking stupid ones?" And you see she motions to the corner, and you see coming out of the corner, there's a human male that's standing there that you didn't notice at all at first, and he's just pretty normally. He looks like he could handle himself though, and he does have a short sword on his belt.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "Take him." And he just looks at you, and he just for a second, and he just motions towards the doorway.
Okay. Well, I will follow.
Okay. You follow him, and I'm gonna try to pull the picture up here. There it is. And he takes you through looks like a storage room, and then at the storage room, he actually reaches behind one of the barrels of ale, and you hear a and then the wall actually kind of slides open, and you see a stairway going down, and he just motions and says, "There you go."
Can you blow this up more, please?
Yeah, he says, "Have fun."
Okay. Now, I didn't think of this before, but I thought of it afterwards. It would have been possible to do a disguise self spell before I went in to change features, or is it too late now?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll allow it. Why not?
Okay.
So, what are you gonna make yourself look like?
I'll still remain an elf.
Make yourself look like Rav.
But yeah. No, I'll still remain an elf, but I'll change my, the skeletal structure, eye color, hair color, so that, if things go wrong, then we'll be looking for someone else's face. And my clothing, I'll alter mine enough to make it look like I'm wearing something I'm not. I'm just
okay. You change yourself as you can actually change yourself as you're walking down because nobody's watching, because he doesn't follow you down. He just stays at the top. And as you're walking down, you hear the door behind you just and it closes behind you. And
Okay.
As you walk down, the stairway opens up, and you see this. You see a tavern. It's an underground. It's all underground, and this place is packed. And it's just think the Moss Eisley's Cantina only times 5.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right. I'll roll perception roll to see if there's any other exits. besides the way I came down?
Okay, well, go ahead and roll.
Like it hits the fan, which way am I going?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I rolled a 16.
Okay, from where you're standing and what you see, you don't see any other exits but this one. It's pretty lively. It's very lively down here. There's people drinking and laughing on the stage over here in the corner where that piano is. There's musicians there. There's dancers. Some of them, there's a couple dancers on the stage itself. There's a few in the middle of the room, and behind the bar is actually a very, very large half ogre, who's kind of tending bar, whatnot. You see pretty much a cross section of almost every friggin' race you can think of, outside of any of the races that aren't allowed into this country, like drow or whatnot. But you see half orcs, you see half elves, you see pretty much everything you can think of. There's a couple of tieflings down here, and you get the sense that this is the underworld.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Absolutely cool. All right. And so let's see, elves. I see high elves. No, or just a mix of different.
You see some elves. You see some high elves, half elves. Give me another perception check.
Okay. Oh man, I'm not rolling good tonight. That was a 10.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you see, man. And you see, like I said, there's a half orc bartender, and he's walking back and forth.
Okay, I don't see any. I'll keep walking around, look, see if there's anyone who's appears to be nobility. See if I can make some eye contact with some elves and get some nods, like recognition, like for the.
Okay. Eventually, as you walk around in the far corner, right over here, where it's like a private booth, you do see a pretty attractive female elf. She's dressed in a style that's become very popular in the capital over the last few years. It's almost a Victorian style that she's wearing. The shirt is opened up, and she's showing off her goods pretty good, but she's surrounded by several people, and she's kind of laughing, and you get the sense that she's somebody important down here.
Right. So I'm guessing that is my contact down there. I'll come over. I'll head over to that table.
Okay. As you start walking over, you see two men, one human and one elf. They kind of step in front of you, and they hold their hand up and say, "Oh, what do you want?"
I have been told to speak with the lady Ziltharia by the Arcanus.
What a who?
Who?
He says, "By the who?"
By the who? You know the lady who.
And he kind of he just kind of looks at you, and then she eventually hears what you're saying, and she says, "Hi, let him through."
All right.
Okay.
Could just real quick, could you specify her name again? I thought you had said it was Zilthera.
Yeah.
Zilthera. Yeah. Okay. Thyra. Zilthera. All right.
I just want to make sure I wrote it down right. Is that right, Bob?
Yeah, Zilthera. Xilthyra.
Okay.
Okay. And actually, Bill, why don't you give me a what would that be? Why don't you give me a
The persuasion?
No, an investigation.
Yeah. Okay. God damn. Get rid of that die. 7.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you've never heard of this lady before. She motions for you to sit down. You sit down. She's actually on the far side in that corner. And she motions for you to sit down in the corner. She says, "So, You're Inatharia's new little pet.
Yes, I am.
That's unfortunate for you. But
Wouldn't you know it?
it's not the worst thing that could happen. I mean,
Yeah.
at least you're out on your own. You're free, and
Well,
no,
freedom
we-
is sort of elusive in this kingdom.
well, everybody
I
works
can-
for somebody
It's true.
except me. And she kind of laughs, and then she actually has a female human, like one of the dancers is like sitting next to her. And she kind of laughs, and then the other people, the other two sitting around, they kind of laugh with her as well. You could tell they're basically just like, oh, the boss is laughing. It's time to laugh.
Right.
So she says, so you need work.
I do.
Coincidentally, I need workers. So tell me about this group that you're with. And then you guys, you just basically go through and you tell them about everybody that you have with them. And she's like, okay. Well, I have a job that I think I can trust you with. It's not much, but you know, it's important to me at least. I need you.
Pray tell.
So, there's a mining town. About 2 days travel from here, called Alirvik. Allirvik, for everybody who needs it. And I have a shipment of goods that needs protected. And I want you to travel to Alirvik, protect it, and then return, and that's it. If you do this well, then I'll have something better for you. But right now, this is what I have.
So is this a large caravan?
It's 2 wagons.
And what do I know of the road to Alirvik?
It's southeast out of the city. You've never
Is it fraught? Is it fraught with danger?
as much danger as traveling on the road normally is.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right. What I'm trying to discern is how risky is this? The risk involved.
You're basically providing protection for a wagon load of provisions to a town. You can give me a
Insight?
not insight. Give me a history check.
I'm gonna burn an inspiration, see if I can roll higher than a 2.
Okay.
A 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay!
Yeah, that gives me a total of 5.
You're getting all the bad rolls out of the way now, so that when you're fighting,
Right?
nothing bad's gonna happen. Okay. You've never heard of this place. She says it's a fairly important mining town. It's a bit rough and tumble, so there's the possibility that you might have to deal with a few morons who think that they can steal from me, which is the reason why I'm sending you. So
No, that sounds quite like something right up our alley. So what does it pay?
it pays 200 gold pieces total. And I'm being generous because let's face it, all you're doing is traveling from one place to the other and making sure that morons don't steal what belongs to me.
No, and I have who's my contact in Alaric?
The wagon driver knows where to take everything. You're just there to make sure that he doesn't die.
Okay. And is there anyone else of import that needs protection along this road in the caravan?
Not that's dealing with my business. No.
No, as long as the goods make it where they need to go, you're happy.
As long as they make it where they need to go, and my driver is not killed.
So the driver needs to live as well.
Yes, well, of course.
Well, that's not always the case in some jobs.
Does he
They
have
just
to?
They just need. So the provisions are what's important some places. So.
Yes.
I mean, if I were there, I would be interested in what the
You're
cargo is.
You're not there, so
Yeah.
shut the
Yeah.
hell
We
up.
have no idea what's going on.
On my first job with the crime lord, I'm not going to ask what we're protecting. We'll just. keep
I
it at
certainly
that.
will.
Yeah, well, just so you know, my lady, is that my companions are not as savory as we. So,
Well, you wouldn't be working for me if you were.
Savory?
but that is
Do you mean savvy?
no. Just deal with my
Savory
grammar.
is like unsavory.
I'm unsavory, and I'm being sarcastic.
I-
The Zero doesn't have humor. It's okay, but I can come up with a cover story to convince them. And if you can give me just a little hint of truth to help to sell it off.
What's to sell? You
Are
took
these
a
just
job.
and this is an old mine. This is a mining town. Is that correct, Alric? You said.
It is. It is. And in fact, if you want to know, you are taking a wagon load of provisions to the mining company that I myself control to allow them to continue their operation. It's very simple, and it's probably, to be honest, it's the most above board thing that I have.
Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I will.
I wouldn't give you something of extreme importance until I know you better. You, regardless of Inotharia's word or not.
Understood.
Don't make it more difficult than it has to be. It's simple work.
Very much so. Thank you.
Famous last words, and the shoe will drop.
Yep.
I got a whole closet of shoes to drop on you guys.
I can't wait.
Well,
So yes or no?
yes, and I thank you for the opportunity, like I said, and I appreciate.
Excellent. And then she kind of motions to the rest of the to the bar and to the inn. Enjoy yourself. Meet my driver and his wagon out front in the morning, and good luck. Don't screw this up. And she kind of gives you like a fake stern, like she's being playful, and then everybody laughs around her again, and she goes back
Right.
to playing with the knife that's sitting on her in front of her table and just laughing with everybody.
Well, I will not disappoint. I bid you farewell.
Oh, you're still here. Goodbye.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, the schlep is leaving the inn. What are going on?
Okay, Chester, you guys, where are you going to ask around for? You just asking around for places that are available for rent?
Well, I'm assuming I have a map of the city.
You probably have one in your memory banks. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would simply find the nearest realtor.
Okay. Give me an investigation.
23.
Oh yeah. Okay. You ask around for a few places, and then they point you down to a realtor.
All right.
And walk in. It's a kind of a mousy looking human, and he just kind of looks at you and says, "Oh God, can I help you?" And he looks at the dwarf, because the dwarf is the most normal looking person here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can I help you?
Yes, you
yes,
can.
sir, you can.
And he kind of looks back and forth between you as you both talk. Is like,
Oh, I look at the dwarf
yes?
and I bow to him.
Listen, it'll be all right here. We're looking for a nice big place that we can have accommodations for a party of 5 with
Laboratory,
living
laboratory,
quarters
laboratory.
for all of us. Exactly like the little one says.
We didn't even notice
And
I'm
I
sure
don't
till
want my
now.
head to be banging into anything.
Yes,
Like a door
That's right.
frame.
And we also would like some exceptionally high ceilings.
And cheap.
I can see that. And cheap. He starts flipping through some papers and looks through a book. Well, how comfortable do you want this to be? Are you sleeping there? Are you just working there?
Baron would be fine.
Artificer, how comfortable can you make it for us?
As long as the walls stand up, I will make it as comfortable as you like. So something that is barren and empty, Spartan, and cheap, please. High walls, large.
Well, I have a small warehouse.
How much? How much is that to buy straight out?
How much to buy the entire building?
Yes.
Well, he sits and he kind of factors things. Oh, sure, Rob doesn't know. Hang on a second.
We have two slicks. We are definitely in trouble.
Oh my! Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh my god.
No,
How do you not know?
I need to go and check on something, so I'm still listening.
No, I got you, man.
How do you not know? We expect you to know these things off the top of your head.
Okay, that's not too bad. He looks at you and he says, I can give you let's see, for the entire building, it's 30 feet wide, 40 feet long. It's 2 stories. 1,200 gold pieces.
Can we look at this possible procurement?
Of course. I suppose. He kind of stands up and he looks around and he finds a big ring of keys and he says, "Follow me, if you will." And he leads you down to it's not too far from where you guys actually entered into the sewers.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes you to it's a pretty sturdily built wooden building. Like he said, it's 30 foot wide, 40 feet long. It's 2 stories. You could easily see this being turned into a tavern, maybe.
So it's really small.
Well, it's decent
30
size.
feet wide by 40 feet long.
30 feet by 40, but it's 2 stories.
Yeah, so it's got enough room for everybody.
Yeah, it's got enough room for everybody, and then you could also have like an entire one entire floor or half of one entire floor for your lab.
Is there a basement?
There is, and it's actually yeah, it's almost yeah. So you have 3 floors basically that are 30 foot by 40.
This doesn't sound so bad.
No, I don't think so. I and the gnome, the mecha gnome, go around and are checking the sturdiness of the walls while you guys look about.
Yeah, can I tell what the architecture is by my dwarvenness and like how sturdy of a structure this is?
Sure. Go ahead and roll.
So what would I need for that?
Do
like
a perception.
D20?
Yeah, D20.
Perception.
Yeah.
So I roll a 6, and that's perception is what?
What's your perception?
What is perception? I don't know.
Perception is perception. What is your wisdom?
My wisdom is an 18 with a plus
right.
4, so
that's a
10.
Okay. And it might be a 12 10. Actually, Bob.
Yeah, if
right, 12.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. You got a 10 is all you needed. It's not real difficult. It's a pretty well made building. It's designed to be a warehouse, and it's designed to kind of stand up to the elements and whatnot. It's a pretty well made building.
I think we picked a pretty nice place here.
Yeah, it is empty.
That's fine. All right, so
okay.
We all have a powwow, and do we want to throw in on this or what?
Well, if we all had earned 308 gold plus the 78 that we all earned from our last adventure, I'll chip in what I've got for this.
Well, he said 1,200, so we don't.
Yeah, that would mean we'd need 4 of us, right?
Yeah, roughly. It would be 250 each, and I'll take care of the rest.
Well, I'll certainly chip in my 250. This seems like a very nice place. And we can keep an eye on that jelly hole.
That's true. That is true. What do you say, gnome? Do you want to own a property?
He has to barf up that platinum piece.
does not understand the concept, so he's just gonna keep running around the place like all excited, but he doesn't understand why. He's just happy to be running around.
The gnome is in.
Yep.
How about you, Goliath? As I look
I
up,
would say, if
It will do.
okay. We wait for. I send the gnome to go out and find the traitor.
Wait,
Which
this
gnome?
is the robot gnome. You're gonna send this? Okay, I'll go out on my own.
No, the mecha gnome. I send the mecha
No!
gnome to go find the traitor.
But I must make one caveat. I get the biggest room.
Well, you can. That's fine, because all I'm interested in is the basement.
There might be enough room for me to set up a little place where I can bring people in for healing.
Ooh, a side
on
business.
our downtime.
That sounds wonderful.
We can always float a little bit back to the temple, pay our tithes.
You can float a little bit back to the temple. What is mine is mine.
Oh, come on, have a little heart. Don't you ever think of the orphans?
I slap the gnome on the back. He spits up the platinum coin, and I hand it over to the dwarf.
I was saving that for a special occasion.
The orphans will bless you. Oh, bless you, more than bless you. I tell you, the orphans are going to eat well tonight.
But I'm assuming we get Bill in here, right? So, Bill,
Yeah.
Are you in on this or not?
Absolutely.
Okay, so everyone
Absolutely.
minus 250 from your sheet. I'll take care of the extra. If what is that? 50 myself, and we pay the man.
All right, he's actually kind of shocked that you coughed up the money. He thought you guys were full of it, and he's like, "Oh,
It's literally.
Excellent. Well, let's go back to the shop, and I'll sign the papers over to you."
Okay.
And he leads you the way back. You sit down. He signs the deed over, and he hands it to the dwarf.
That's fine.
Why? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And if you need anything else, you just let me know.
All right. Now I spend.
Dwarf. I need large.
Yes,
women.
lad. Large women? Well, we've got plenty of space now.
Send large women.
Okay.
Send large
Goodness
women.
gracious.
Send more cops. Send more paramedics. Send large women.
Now, Bob, I've assumed in this time that I have assessed exactly what I need to furnish this place. I have 200 gold remaining. I'm assuming that is enough to buy raw materials, yes?
It is enough to buy raw materials.
Okay, that's actually quite a bit of raw material. I begin by opening the back of the mechanome, and the entire back, by the way. You guys see this deep yawning blackness, and I start pulling out an entire smithy. That includes a forge, anvils, smelters, and everything else. Plus, I pull out a whole bunch of other things as well, weird contraptions and things you haven't seen. And I and the mechanome get busy starting to, renovate this place. I also take out an exoskeleton, which I pick up and put the gnome in, and I put him to tasks. And if he gets a little bewildered or moving off to one direction or another, I have a little shock that will get to him, and in his mind, I will say to him, "Focus."
Okay. Yeah, you get you see the Warforged just starts pulling stuff out of this friggin' thing that shouldn't fit in there. It's like
Exactly. Yeah.
chucking stuff out here, and so you guys have a place to stay, and you have a job. So next session we will be on our way to what's the name of the town I have done here? You'll be on your way to the town of Allervik.
Sweet. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, so this was kind of a character building moment. It's just kind of figuring
That's
out what
fine.
you guys are going to do and where you're going to go. I promise you there is much more excitement coming, guys. So yeah, get ready because the proverbial crap is about to hit the fan.
Oh no, I thought it was fun.
Sweet.
Cool. All right,
Nice.
and then also, guys, like I said, if you have any questions, you just drop them on the Discord. A couple of guys did give me your character sheets. I'll look those over. I appreciate that. And I am trying to work in some of your guys' background and everything in here. So, yep. Hopefully, this will be fun coming up. And yeah, I'm excited. This should be interesting coming up.
Sure, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us. That was a fun little romp. More of an establishing episode, of course, which is fine. I think maybe our little gaggle of freaks is coming together, and we got ourselves a layer, which is very important. And do keep in mind, I will, in short order, have the shuriken of Far Realm Porting put together for all those who deserve such things. But nevertheless, thank you all very much for joining us. And do keep in mind that tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Fan Speak, and we will be talking about the things that are going on. So all of you stay safe out there. Make sure the toilet paper is well stocked. And I'm going to have, since he's leading the show, I'm going to let Bob namaste us out of here.
Okay, well, I don't know if I've used this one already or not, but I'm going to use a quote from the late Tupac.
Oh, God.
Just because you lost me as a friend doesn't mean that you gained me as an enemy. I'm bigger than that. I want to see you eat, just not at my table.
Namaste.
Namaste.
All right. Later,
Lord
guys.
bless you.
Bye-bye.
Adios.